Welcome to the first video in writing for the AP Histories, and we're going to begin with the most basic fundamental component of writing, and that is the paragraph. So once we get this foundational component down, then we can extend those skills and build larger pieces of writing, the essays, the like that you'll see on the AP test. So we'll begin with the paragraph. Now, in order to work out these skills, we need some content. So we'll start looking at topic 2.1, the Silk Roads, and use that as the bench on which to work out these skills. Now, this is what the course description looks like. This is page 54 in the course description, and really you should have this. If you don't, look in the description beneath and you'll see a link to it. But the way it works is we have these learning objectives that we have to learn, or we have to teach. And look at the learning objective here. It says, explain the causes and effects of the growth of networks of exchange after 1200. So that is what you have to do. Just to the right of it, that's what you have to know to do that. So how do you know what the causes and the effects of growth of networks of exchange were? You'll look over here to the historical development, which basically gives you those answers. In this case, we have 3 historical developments. So we're going to take that learning objective, we're going to turn it into a prompt, and based on that prompt, we're going to write a single paragraph. So here is the prompt, and notice once again, it's just a rewording of that learning objective. And to answer that prompt, we're going to pull a topic sentence out of the historical developments, because those are the answers. So here we have that the growth of interregional trade in luxury goods was encouraged by innovations in previously existing transportation and commercial technology. So we're going to actually use that in this case as our topic sentence. And for specific pieces of evidence that we will use to build out the paragraph, we're going to use caravanserai and we're going to use money economies. Now, about the way this course description works, if it's in the blue, if it's listed in the historical developments like caravanserai is, it is absolutely required content. You have to know that. Sometimes you'll see illustrative examples in the margin. So for example, for money economies, we are going to use one of the illustrative examples of paper currency or paper money that the Chinese came up with. So that's how we're going to build this paragraph. We have a topic sentence and we have evidence. Now back to our prompt. So here's the prompt. We already have a topic sentence, and that is the cause for the growth of trade networks between 1200 and 1450 was innovations in transportation and commercial technologies, and we're going to use caravanserai as evidence to support that. And we're going to use Chinese paper money. Now caravanserai, as you know, they're inns, so to speak, that developed along the Silk Roads. Silk Road trade was very dangerous. There were lots of hazards. There were bandits, and these gave merchants a safe place to stay for the night where they could keep their valuables locked up, water their animals, rest up, and continue their voyage later. And paper money, invented by the Chinese, became an actual government-based currency during the Song, facilitated transactions. It was safer, it was easier to count, and so that sped up transactions. So we're going to use these 2 pieces of evidence. So here's our prompt, here's our pieces of evidence. Now, when you build out this essay, you don't have the liberty to write anything you want to write about caravanserai or paper money. All we need to do is step each of those specific pieces of evidence back up to that claim, that topic sentence, which is our claim. So we need to walk those pieces of evidence back and support how trade networks grew in this time period. That's very important. So just before we build this out and model a paragraph, let's take a look at what we did here again. We have a page from the course description. We took a learning objective and we made it our prompt. And we took a statement from the historical development right there. And we took 2 pieces of evidence, caravanserai and money economies. And we're going to build those pieces of evidence together and support that statement. So basically, what you'll have is this paragraph, the topic sentence, and then the writing that that marshals these pieces of evidence to support that. And by the way, this is really how you should be studying for the AP test. You should use the historical developments and the specific pieces of content in service of the learning objective. So let's build out this paragraph. Once again, here's our topic sentence. So now we need to explain what caravanserais had to do with that. So here's a sentence that we could possibly use. Caravanserai, inns along the Silk Roads, provided merchants places to rest and keep their valuables safe from bandits. With some of the risks of trade removed, merchants were willing to take more commercial journeys. Notice how at the end, this didn't just tell what a caravanserai was. At the end, it linked it back to the growth of trade, and that is absolutely essential. Now we can add paper money. In the same way, by the way, notice the linking language here. We're using two pieces of evidence to corroborate together and support that topic sentence. In the same way, paper money, which was invented by the Chinese, helped increase trade. It was lighter to carry than precious metals and easier to store and count. The added convenience of paper money contributed to more exchanges. Trade in luxury goods grew as a result. Here at the end, again, it links it right back to that topic sentence. So here's a coherent paragraph. It makes a claim in the first sentence, and then it brings in evidence, and it links those pieces of evidence back to support that claim. Now, that is what the goal is here at the beginning of the course. Now, just to let you know where we're going with this, once we perfect the paragraph, we could possibly build another paragraph from that same topic on the Silk Roads. It might look like this. And the first two sentences, the topic sentences of both of those paragraphs put together would comprise a thesis statement. So the thesis, really, you come up with that last, even though it's towards the beginning of your essay, you build out, you take your evidence and you take your claims and you build those out, and then you come up with your thesis, which is your two or possibly three, if you have 3 paragraphs, topic sentences. So there's the basic structure of writing a paragraph in AP Histories. This goes for world, it goes for US, it goes for Europe. So there's our first video. There will be another one pretty soon. Thank you for watching.